Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, my name is Farah Assyfa Gayo. I'm from class A2 2022 English Education Study Program IKIP Siliwangi. In this video, I'm going to explain transitivity or process types in additional analysis. Additional meaning is one aspect of systemic functional linguistics that is mostly analyzed in written text. Alright, on the first discussion, which is what is transitivity? Transitivity is a grammatical system that aims to describe the option of representational or additional meaning. Which in transitivity, there are three important elements, including the first is process. Process is event which occur or status that exists. Second is participant. Participant indicating who is involved in those processes. Third is circumstances. Circumstances indicate time or pace at which the process occurred or the manner in which it has done. Alright, like this example of three sentences. Here, we can see a sentence with each sentence given a different color. The word mark in blue is the participant or the person performing the process or action. The first sentence, participant is she. The second sentence is they. And the third sentence is Ricky. Then the red colored word is the process or action that is performed. In the first sentence, the word read is a process. The second sentence is are talking. And the third sentence is walk. Meanwhile, the green word is circumstances. Meanwhile, the green word is circumstances. Circumstances in the first sentence is a book. The second sentence is largely, and the third sentence is to the store. Alright, next we will discuss the types of transitivity. In transitivity, there are 6 types, including first is material process, second, mental processes, third, behavioral processes, fourth, relational processes, fifth, verbal processes, and the sixth is existential processes. Alright, first I'm going to explain about material processes. Material processes is the action of doing. Examples of verbs are run, kick, jump, write, throw, and others. There are transitivity structure in the material processes, namely actor or who does the action, material process, the action, goal, and also goal, who is the affective, and also recipient who receives and beneficiary for whom something is done. Second is mental processes. Mental processes is the action of encompassing sense of feelings, thinking, and perceiving. Example of verbs are think, love, remember, hate, believe, and feel. There are transitivity structure in the mental processes, namely experiencer or sensor is who experience the action. Mental process, who is affected by the action, and the third is phenomenon on which is the sense and feel. Alright, the third is behavioral processes. Behavior processes is the action of psychological behaviors often related to human action, like dreaming, loving, breathing, cry, smile, sneeze, and others. There are transitivity structure in behavioral processes, namely behavior is who behaves the action, behavioral process, the action itself, and circumstances where, when, how the action performed. Fourth is relational processes. Relational processes is the action of being and becoming or express status of being, relationship or possession. The rational process is divided into two types, namely attributive and identifying. The attributive is about the quality of something, meanwhile identifying is identifying something. There are transitivity structures in the attribute relational processes, namely carrier, or the participant or entity that is being described or identified. Second is attributive or characteristic of the carrier, and attribute is characteristic ascribed to the carrier. Meanwhile, in identifying relational processes, there are transitivity structure in it, including the token or the participant that is being identified. Second is identifying, or the verb linking the token and value, and also value, the identity ascribed to the token. Fifth is verbal processes. Verbal processes is the action of saying like said, nouns such as agree, report, tell, and other. There are transitivity structure in the verbal processes, namely sayer is who performs the verbal action. Second is verbal process, the action itself, and also quoted or the content or message being communicated. Alright, and the sixth is existential processes. Existential processes describe the existence or presence of some things like is, are, was, and were. There are transitivity structure in the existential processes, namely, the first is existent or the entity that exists. Second is existential process or grammatical construction that presents of something. And also the third is locative circumstances, is the elements that describe the location where the existence is found. Now that everyone knows the definition, elements, and types of transitivity, I have a text to analyze. Here is a recount text entitled My Days in Bali. The first thing we can do is to decompose or separate each sentence in the text. This is done to simplify the analysis process, and in this text entitled My Days in Bali, there are 15 sentences in it. The second thing that can be done is to find and determine which type of transitivity verb of the sentence belongs to. If this can be found, then other aspects such as subject and circumstances can follow according to the categories or classes that exist in the sixth type of transitivity. Alright, in the first sentence, last year I had the opportunity to attend an international education conference in Bali. The word had the opportunity to attend is an attributive, where I is the carrier, and words an international education conference in Bali are characteristic of the carrier, and the word had the opportunity to attend here is one of the characteristic inherent and only owned by the carrier, where the carrier in this sentence had the opportunity to attend an international education in Bali, where it is an honor and opportunity that cannot be had by everyone, and carrier here is one of the people who has the opportunity to attend the event. Here, it can be concluded that the first sentence is a sentence that falls into the attributive relational processes category. Furthermore, in the second sentence, it was my first time visiting the island, where the word of was my first time visiting are the attribute of relational process. The word it is the carrier and the island is the attribute. And it can be concluded that this sentence is categorized as attributive relational processes. In the third sentence, and I was both excited and nervous, where the word was is the attributive of relational process, the word I is a carrier, and both excited and nervous is the attribute, and it can be concluded that the sentence is categorized as attributive relational processes. In the fourth sentence, the conference was held in a large hotel by the beach with participants from various countries, where the word was is the identifying relational process. The conference is the token and held in a large hotel by the beach with participants from various countries are the value. And it can be concluded that the sentence falls into the category of it identifying relational processes. In the fifth sentence, on the first day, I attend several workshops on innovative teaching strategies, where the word attended is a material process. The word I is the actor, and several workshops on innovative teaching strategies is the goal, and it can be concluded that this sentence falls into the material processes category. Alright, next in the sixth sentence, where I learn new method to engage student in the classroom, where the word learn is a material process, the word I is an actor, and new method to engage student in the classroom is the goal. And it can be concluded that the sentence falls into the material processes category. Alright, in the next example, in the seventh sentence, during the breaks, I explore the local area with some fellow educator. Here, the word explored is a verb that falls into the material process category because it shows physical activity or the action of doing. The word I here is an actor or someone who takes action, and the word the local area with some fellows educator is a goal. It can be concluded that this seventh sentence is a sentence that falls into the material processes category. In the eighth sentence, we visited temples, where the word visited is a material process. The word we is the actor, and temples is the goals. And it can be concluded that the sentence falls into the material processes category. In the ninth sentence, we tasted a traditional Balinese food, where the word tasted is a material process. The word we is the actor, and traditional Balinese food is the goal. And it can be concluded that the sentence falls into the material processes category. Next, in the 10th sentence, and we watched a cultural dance performance, where the word watched is a verb that falls into the material process category. The word we is an actor, and a cultural dance performance is the goal. And it can be concluded that the sentence falls into the material processes category. In the 11th sentence, the highlight of the trip was meeting new colleges, where the word was is a verb that falls into the category of identifying relational processes. The highlight of the trip are tokens, and meeting new colleges is the value. And it can be concluded that the sentence falls into the category of identifying relational processes. In the 12th sentence, and the highlight of the trip was exchanging ideas, where the word was is a verb that falls into the category of identifying relational processes. The highlight of the trip is a token, and exchanging ideas is the value. And it can be concluded that the sentence falls into the category of identifying relational processes. In the 13th sentence is I gained valuable insight not only for my career but also about the importance of education in different parts of the world. The word gained is a mental process where I is the sensor and the word valuable insight is something that is felt by the sensor, and the word gained here is one of the verbs that involves the mental process of receiving something to the sensor, namely valuable insight. The word of not only for my career but also about the importance of education in different parts of world are the phenomenon. It can be concluded that this sentence falls into the category of mental processes. In the 14th sentence, by the end of the week, I felt inspired and energized, ready to apply, where the word felt is a verb that falls into the mental process category. The word I is the sensor, and inspired and energized is a phenomenon. Then it can be concluded that the sentence falls into the mental processes category. In the last sentence, the 15th sentence, namely, what I had learned to my own teaching, where the word had learned is a verb that falls into the mental process category. The word I is the sensor, and to my own teaching is the phenomenon, and it can be concluded that this sentence falls into the mental processes category. Alright, after we do a careful analysis of the sentences in the context entitled My Days in Bali, it can be concluded that 20% of the sentences belong to attributive relational processes. 20% of the sentences belongs to identifying relational processes, and 40% belongs to material processes category, and 20% belong to mental processes category. Alright, that's all I can say. Thank you for watching my video. See you again in the next video. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.